Thank you very much, Steve. Very enjoyable last hour, and thanks for joining us, everyone, here tonight at the King Power, where the players of both sides, Leicester in all blue and Manchester United in the red and white, take to the field to the hunting horn that greets every game here. It's a mild night, still the vestiges of a grey sky overhead, tinged with a little bit of a lighter colour with the setting sun, and we're almost ready to go as the two sets of players peer up to the giant screens at either end of the ground and see the camera's images as the cameraman walks away from them down below us. A few smiles down there from the players as they see themselves, and we're very nearly ready to go. How do you see this one going, Neil?
Well, I think it'll be competitive. I think the fact that Leicester City haven't won yet this season, they need to put a performance in for their home fans. Then you look at Manchester United, they're on the comeback. That's what Erik ten Hag feels. They're developing. Their 2 victories should see the confidence levels raised. They should see the performances levels raised. But you're expecting Manchester United to go to places. I don't think they've won 3 consecutive games for over a year. So this is an opportunity for them to put that record behind them.
3 Leicester changes. Thomas gets his first league game of the season. So good last season. The 21-year-old fullback. He'll come in at left back with James Justin moving across to right back. Wilfred Ndidi comes in at centre half for Amati, and James Maddison has recovered from his hamstring twinge, as it was described. Castagna and Pratt drop to the bench. Amati is not in the squad. Manchester United are unchanged, so no first start for Casemiro, as tipped in some places, and only a bench roll for Ronaldo as well. Leicester City then with Danny Ward in goal, Justin, Ndidi, Evans and Thomas. You've got Sumari in midfield with Dewsbury Hall and Tielemans, Maddison and Barnes either side of James Vardy, and up front for Manchester United, Marcus Rashford, wide of him Sancho and Elanga, with Bruno Fernandes in the 10 role, we presume, McTominay and Eriksen behind. The back four, Dalot Varane, Sandro Martinez and Terrell Malacia, and in goal of course David De Gea. Manchester United looking to extend their improved run and looking for a 3rd win on the spin. Crisis, what crisis, they will say after that, if they get another win here tonight, Manchester United.
Yes, absolutely. I think if you'd have probably said they would start off the season, first 5 games they'd win 3 of them, then it wouldn't necessarily be an issue. The issue became so because of not only the defeats and the poor performances against Brighton at home and Brentford especially, but it was the manner of those performances. But they've showed a bit of character in the last 2 games, and I'm sure Erik ten Hag hopes his side can continue to show that in this game.
Focus looking at Erik ten Hag. Moments before that we saw a cutaway of Brendan Rodgers' big beaming smile as he met the 3 little Leicester mascots as they came off the field of play. It was an engaging smile. He's a warm and engaging character, and I think he's dealt with the situation here very diplomatically over the last couple of weeks, because it cannot have been easy for him nor the Leicester dressing room, knowing they are under these apparent financial restraints. Cristiano Ronaldo looks glassy-eyed from out of the Manchester United dugout. To say he doesn't cut a happy figure is an understatement. Roar goes out around the King Power Stadium on 5 Live on the BBC. We are nearly ready to go. On the whistle of Craig Pawson, Manchester United kick us off and underway, kicking from left to right in this first half, and a first test then for Luke Thomas as he turns under pressure and shepherds the ball out of play for a goal kick under pressure from Marcus Rashford. Leon, I'll ask you the question I raised earlier in the programme. With Anthony coming in, who's a really good supplier of ball from the wide positions, do you think we'll see a new lease of life for Ronaldo in a Manchester United starting lineup again? Because he's one of the best headers of the ball in the Premier League.
Yeah, I think you probably will. More than likely at home at Old Trafford, where they're expected to put the opposition on the back foot, take possession of the ball and try and create opportunities. If you've got somebody at home, drops his shoulder, delivers quality crosses into Ronaldo 6 to 12 yards out from goal, he's going to have some chances and probably going to score them.
Jamie Vardy chasing down on goalkeeper David De Gea, who got it away, and there's a free kick for offside against young Elanga for Manchester United came from an offside position to challenge in the air. He started on the right hand side with Sancho on the left hand side, and after 11 o'clock tonight all the extraneous noise of the transfer window will end and the season can start proper. And I don't know what you feel about the window going on after the kick-off of the season, but I know I'm not a particular fan of it, and to have a staggered window as well across Europe makes no sense to me whatsoever. But here's Johnny Evans anyway, can't get there. Elanga has the extra pace, of course, and here's Bruno Fernandes. He's been a bit of a revelation, you know, since they got badly beaten at Brentford when they were awful. They've won in the last couple of games. It'll be cleared away by Danny Ward towards the halfway line. Vardy rises, leaps in front of Martinez, wins it, but the ball goes all the way back to De Gea. Are you a fan of the window being open 3, 4, 5 weeks after the season starts?
No, not at all. I think it's frustration. It's frustrating for managers. It's frustrating for team players to know that, you know, one of your players could potentially be stolen before you really get up and running, especially have a good start to the season. But also, if you've felt you've earned your spot in the team, and you're always looking, is someone going to come in your position at that last moment, and it doesn't give you an opportunity to maybe find somewhere else to go and play your football if you don't think you're going to play. So I think it should be all done and dusted before the season starts.
Leicester unbeaten in their last 5 games against Manchester United, but over a longer period of history, Manchester United have good form against tonight's rivals. Vardy chases up after a lost course and it's gone out of play for a goal kick. United have scored in the last 26 Premier League meetings against Leicester since a 1-0 home defeat in January 98. Only Arsenal have scored more Premier League goals against Leicester than United. Only Arsenal have beaten Leicester in the Premier League more times than Manchester United. It'll be interesting to see how this one goes.
We've just seen a little bit what I expect of Leicester. Tillemans picking the ball up, and as we have come to see so many times, Vardy making that run in behind. A good battle between him and Martinez tonight.
All the way to Torrent Malacia, the summer signing for Manchester United, far side from us with his yellow boots, plays it back infield. It's chopped long and by Eriksen down that left hand side, and it'll be a Manchester United throw 10 yards inside the Leicester half. 0-0 on 5 live, and it's taken by Malacia, who cost them £15 million from Feyenoord, Dutch current international. And Varane has it. Great voice from the Manchester United supporters in the far left corner of the ground from us at King Power, which is a stadium that always rocks with atmosphere, and literally on the far side with a TV gantry, as you can feel that stand shaking while you're there on Good Nights for Leicester. I was privileged to be here the year they won the title. It was an amazing experience every time they came. Leicester play out to Ndidi, and back it goes to the Welsh international goalkeeper Danny Ward. Finds Johnny Evans, who's technically in the last year of his contract here. I'm sure they might want to extend, though he's in his mid-30s now. Evergreen, former Manchester United player himself, of course. Eriksen plays off to the right side, and Dalot finds McTominay, left-hand touchline. Manchester United attacking with Sancho in then to Rashford, takes it back. Jadon Sancho wearing 25, lemon yellow boots, and it comes the cross, and it's cleared away inside that penalty area by Thomas, just scraped it away. And up to the halfway line it goes, with good pressure on Eriksen. Stops Leicester playing it down the line through Kieran Dewsbury Hall, this impressive 23-year-old who came through the youth team ranks. It's a throw to Leicester, and a bustling start here.
Yeah, it has. Both teams trying at the moment. It's good to see Jadon Sancho there pick the ball up. He gets criticised at times for his performances and sometimes the intent, but he picked the ball up there. He's starting on the left-hand side this evening with Elanga on the right, and he just drove at real pace at James Justin, tried to put him on the back foot, didn't quite get his cross right, but great to see his purpose.
And here's Barnes down the left-hand touchline for Leicester. Roll inside. The cross comes into the penalty area from the left back, Luke Thomas. Played for 1 game this season. It was in the League Cup, the penalty shootout win against Stockport. And Leicester have it back again, 0-0, 5 live from the BBC. Such a busy day for football. We're on until 11 o'clock tonight. The Euroleague follows us at 10, with the transfer window closing at 11. Tillemans couldn't bring the ball under control Leicester fans will be hoping that 11 o'clock deadline comes very, very soon, because they were fearful that Tielemans would be off to a new club, of course. And a game that kicked off at 8 o'clock, thanks to producer George. We got here at about 4, very, very early. And Leon, well, you were always used to making late runs.
Not necessarily used to me. I used to see them early, JP. Just with the pace I've got, they always tended to arrive late.
Lovely to be here with you. And I think I only criticised you the once during commentary.
I'm not sure I believe that completely.
No, it was the one time was from the start of your career right the way through to the end of it. No, it's great to work with you. Honest bloke. What was your success rate against Manchester United as an Everton player? Did you score a goal? I don't think I saw you score a goal against them. We'll come to that in a minute. Here's Bruno Fernandes. So he scored some very good goals. Here's Sancho then for Manchester United. Into Rashford, back again to Sancho, stepping across to get it away is James Justin. United have possession, right hand side, a yard from this side, Dalot. Back it goes to Varane. Varane and Martinez seem to be the preferred centre-back partnership now for Eric Ten Hag. 7 played, 0-0. Ericsson ghosting into a little gap, 5 yards from the right touchline, 2 yards outside the Leicester penalty. Slipped it through to Rashford. Good early ball away to the left-hand side. But a man here for Manchester United over. But the cross back into the penalty area was low and flat and disappointing in one sense in Bruno Fernandes, but he's forced a corner.
Yeah, it's good overload from Manchester United. Moved the ball really well. Christian Eriksen right at the heart of that, but they had numbers. Jadon Sancho pushed inside. Bruno Fernandes went on the overlap, and it was surprising for him. It was a bit of a sloppy first touch under his feet and couldn't get the ball past the defender.
Eriksen will take the corner kick for Manchester United. First of the game, left-hand side. Rashford's in at the near post. Bruno Fernandes beyond the far post. In it swings. And it's headed up and away for Leicester City by Ndidi. It'll be another corner for Manchester United. You had some tussles with them, didn't you, in an Everton shirt?
Yeah, we drew from 4 Old Trafford once, beat them on one occasion. I played against some unbelievably good Manchester United teams. They were winning titles for fun back in those days.
In swings the corner kick, and away it goes towards that left-hand side. Butts and Scholes and Beckham and Giggs or Ronaldo in those midfield positions or wide positions. For the Manchester United side it was attacking intent, Sheringham, York era, the Andy Cole era. Those eras have gone, and Manchester United need to move on with the times. They have possession now, and I think they've started this game fairly brightly. And they have possession inside the centre circle with Varane at 0-0. To his left-hand side, he pushes it and gets the ball back again from Martinez. Chipped in by Dalot, who's had a decent start for the season. It's a free kick here for Manchester United, and Tielemans is protesting at the decision of the referee. Very possible it is a free kick then to Manchester United.
Yeah, I think he's got a right to ask the question of the referee. Yes, he may have bustled through Bruno Fernandes, but Bruno Fernandes just turned on his blind side. Tielemans came in quite quickly to win the ball back, so the referee made that decision.
Clear away for Leicester from the centre of midfield. Manchester United work away to the left-hand side and have a throw in at 0-0, and it's an equidistant from the edge of the penalty area, so we're about 18 metres from goal, 18 yards from goal I should say. Throw into United, and it'll be taken by Malacia, the Rotterdam-born Dutch international, into Bruno Fernandes. Manchester, nice triangular passes. Bruno Fernandes slips it inside, shooting opportunity for Eriksen. He rather dragged it, right-footed, missed the side netting, went to the right-hand side of Danny Ward's right post.
They got in very well for Manchester United, far too easy against Leicester City, just moving it quickly. They're happy to play balls in tight spaces. Sancho, Bruno Fernandes, and I love to see Christian Eriksen playing in this deeper role. People have asked the question, can he defend in that manner? But if you're a good player and you read the game well and you get in positions well, then you can play as well as he's capable.
It's a really interesting point that you've just raised. I'll ask you more on that in a minute. So many people have dismissed his role in a deep position, haven't they? One back for Rashford here for Manchester United. McTominay bustles in. Eriksen is bypassed by Tielemans. Vardy tries to hold it out, and Varane is snapping at his heels. And McTominay is switched away, just checked out wide of the tackling kin, and Dewsbury-Haaland was fouled, so it's a free kick here then for Manchester. But the way Varane went in to win that challenge, last time I saw them live was at Brentford. They never made a tackle like that in 90 minutes.
No, they didn't. I mean, Leicester City were trying to press Manchester United, as you said. Varane quick into the tackle, but then the way they kept the ball and trusted each other with the ball, they won that free kick under pressure. I haven't seen that enough from Manchester United. They give themselves high fives afterwards. You can see they've become a much more together unit recently.
Some breaking transfer news. Villa have signed Dendoncker from Wolves for an undisclosed fee. Ian Dennis will bring you up to date with that a little bit later on. We'll see a cutaway of Wout Faes, who's just joined Leicester from Racing French football for £15 million. He's a solid defender, but I said earlier on in the programme, I have seen mistakes from him. You might get away from them with the mid-table league side, but not in the Premier League. Here's Eriksen swinging it away then to Bruno Fernandes, brings the ball under control, and he's done well there actually, because pressing up behind him was Thomas, who has possession now for Leicester as they win it back. Neither side at the moment, with 12 minutes gone at 0-0, managing to work togetherly on a passing movement of 5, 6, 7 passes.
No, certainly not. I mean, a chance that Manchester United, half chance from Eriksen's shot from the edge of the penalty area. It was only 3 or 4 passes from the throw-in. You're right, no one's really grabbed control of this game and started dominating the possession.
Good ball flicked round the corner by Maddison. First time we've seen him miss the weekend game, and many people thought they're a little bit unfortunate not to get anything at Chelsea back tonight. Dalot swings across the ball away to his full-back partner Malacia, who's still inside his own half, makes it to the halfway line unopposed, travels well there across the ground and into McTominay. A little flick to Bruno Fernandes to his right hand side. Manchester United are purring at the moment. Can they get a decent cross in from the right hand side from Elanga? Just deflected away. It's headed further out by Tielemans. First to it though is Martinez. Good leap there by the international player, the Argentine international player. Eriksen plays a drill ball up to the edge of the penalty, and I think that should be a free kick, and indeed it is. Malacia just bundling into his man, and it's a free kick to Leicester on the edge of the penalty. Can you expand on that Eriksen, how he can be so influential in the deeper role?
Yeah, well, you know, how often have Manchester United been criticising the fact that it's been Fred and McTominay, 2 defensive midfielders in there. One of the reasons is they're not able to get the ball forward to Bruno Fernandes and to Sancho quick enough. Their first thought is to keep the ball, goes backwards and sideways. Not Christian Eriksen. He gets the ball and he can play forward passes. Sometimes they're 5-yard forward passes, sometimes they're 25-yard forward passes, but the intent is there, and he's speeding up this Manchester United attack.
Hit away by Martinez for Manchester United. Leicester have it. Johnny Evans a high up and under, and it's all the way through to the edge of the Manchester United defence, and it's cleared away, and it will be a throw to Manchester United. Friday Football Social tomorrow. Darren and the team will be looking ahead to the big derbies up the weekend. Gilvan Broncos will be one of his guests, looking ahead to the Old Firm derby, which is our first of the Saturday commentaries, 12:30, and then Chelsea West Ham follows with Ian Dennis and Tony Pulis at Stamford Bridge Saturday afternoon, the rearranged game, and at 5:30 it's the Villa against Manchester City with Johnny Murray and Michael Brown in the commentary position. And then we get the return of Champions League football to 5 Live next week. I'll give you more details of that in a wee while. Now Rashford has it down the line, sends a scampering Elanga away. Look at this pace. Bruno Fernandes is in the middle. Sancho further across looks for Bruno Fernandes. It's a decent header away for Leicester City by the covering indeed. It was well positioned and they got it away. Searing pace there for Elanga down that right hand side.
Yeah, it was, and it was a really good passage of play again. As soon as Manchester United managed to get 2 or 3 passes, the game is starting to open up. They're sucking Leicester players in, they're trying to press somewhat Leicester, and as you're right, Elanga released down that right hand side. I thought he had more time than he did. He could have come inside. He should have, if he was going to go first time, he must have delivered a much better quality cross than he did.
Leicester have it on the left hand side of their midfield. It was Dewsbury Hall again involved. When the attack suddenly builds momentum, Vardy on the edge of the penalty, suspicion of handball against him, then a suspicion of a foul by Tielemans. The shot is always rising as it's slammed over the bar by Thomas from 20 yards out, but it wouldn't have counted because the referee has blown for that foul by Tielemans.
Yeah, suspicion of handball. Martinez just hit the ball into his own arm from, a quick pass into him, so he didn't have much time to think about it. But again, Manchester United quick to thank and congratulate Varane, who knew he was going to take a bit of a whack in that, making that challenge. He made it, took the challenge, and decided a free kick in his own penalty area.
Leicester 3 league defeats in a row, and Arsenal here against Southampton and away at Chelsea. They were disappointed they let the points slip away against them against Southampton. Manchester United, despite their recent pickup in form, have still lost 4 of their last 6 games. It is not title winning pedigree, but they are on the right track, it would seem, the way they've started tonight. There's more of the Ten Hag about them. I've seen his young Ajax team go nearly all the way that year in the Champions League, where they pressed the living daylights out of teams they met. That is his game, but can he play that game with Casemiro? Where will Casemiro fit?
Well, there's only one position that Casemiro will play. It's just, who does Ten Hag feel he's going to replace? For me, I don't think it's Christian Eriksen. I like the fact there's a footballer in there. There's a player that can defend to a reasonable degree, he can get in the right positions, but he gets Manchester United on the ball looking a lot more comfortable. So it's competition with McTominay, and at the moment Manchester United players doing okay.
17 minutes gone on 5 Live, 0-0. Lucky to be here alongside Leon Osborne and working at another football game. Always lucky, always feel privileged to be here. Do I like Thursday night football? No, but then that's because I'm very old and very grumpy. And it'll be cleared away now by Danny Ward. And he rolls it out to Johnny Evans, just outside the penalty area. And he finds on the left-hand touchline this young fullback who Luke Thomas impressed so much last season, England under 21. And down the line it goes. It's picked up here then for Leicester once again by Thomas. Into Dewsbury Hall. I think he was Young Player of the Year at Leicester a couple of years ago. That's a decent pass, all attempted by Maddison, right away from Tielemans. It's cleared away, but poorly by Martinez. Straight back then to Maddison, who we know can make things happen. With 18 minutes on the clock, it's 0-0. Thomas on the outside left channel, looking then for Harvey Barnes, who's played the last 3, missed the first couple of the season. It's going to be a throw to Leicester, and Thomas will take a stern-looking Erik ten Hag in the background. And Leicester can get a cross in here from the left-hand side. Decent. Martinez rose, got it away, square, and headed out by Dalot. And Rashford tries to hold it up with Evans behind him. Can't hold it up, thinks he was fouled, slaps the turf in exasperation. The Manchester United England international. Leicester at 0-0 have possession. Halfway line, Johnny Evans, the Northern Ireland international, with the bright lemon boots on. And that's going to be a throw to Leicester. Ten Hag in the technical area to the left-hand side of the touchline with a smart charcoal grey suit on. Brendan Rodgers likewise, but to the right. Here's Maddison, pushed to the ground by Eriksen. Protected the ball well there, really protected the ball well there, Maddison. Anticipated a challenge that was likely to give him a free kick, and he got it.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did. Eriksen thought the ball was there to be won, thought he was going to be shoulder to shoulder. Maddison just stepped across and put the brakes on. Eriksen in that moment couldn't do anything about it, and James Maddison, who, as you mentioned, has just started to become a growing influence on this game, getting in possession of the ball, wins this side a free kick.
Easier in the modern day game to protect the ball like that and anticipate a foul that's going to come in, because the foul will be a nudge or a shove. At the start of your career, when you did that, you knew you were going to get absolutely hammered.
You're told, get up, be stronger, it's your own fault many times.
0-0. Maddison stands over the ball. Tielemans is just in front of him. There's a line of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Leicester players, straggly line from left to right across the edge of the penalty area. Johnny Evans is on the left-hand side. Vardy is right in front of the free kick, but between him and the free kick taker is a 2-man Manchester United wall. I think from there it's going to be Maddison with a little touch up, and the effort forces a good save out of the goalkeeper by Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Benjamin on enough.
Yeah, good enough hit really from Dewsbury Hall, but comfortable save from David De Gea.
But Leicester are winning the ball higher up the pitch now. Cross goes all the way through the penalty area, rather rushed from Maddison, and curls it wide. But he is becoming a growing influence. This is a big big season for him. His contract is up in June of 2024. He's seen other Leicester players go. He wants to be an England regular. He's now in his mid-20s, 25 I think is Maddison. Needs to make this season count.
He does. He needs to go from looking pretty and from having this influence at the moment that we feel he's maybe starting to get in the game to really winning games for his team and dragging his team over the line, goals, assists on a regular basis, because that's what propels you to the next level.
The marvellous champions of 2016 against the champions 20 times in English football, a record 20 times Manchester United have worn the King's Crown here at the King Power. It's 0-0 with 21 minutes gone. Lovely night for football. Now the sky an inky black, velvet texture to it as Leicester play it to the left hand side and then curl up to Maddison. Little dummy, ducked his head so it comes through to Vardy with the lime green boots, swivels, pings it away to the left hand touchline at 0-0, and here goes Harvey Barnes. Up through the gears he goes, and he veers beyond McTominay, who stuck out a leg and won the ball fairly up to the halfway line where Rashford couldn't control. Springs back and Ericsson pumps a long ball curling away to Sancho, and it's tapped back very neatly indeed by Wilfred Ndidi to his goalkeeper, in whom they had enough trust, Danny Ward, that they felt that when they came in from Nice for Kasper Schmeichel he could go. And now Ward could be under pressure because Rashford has touched it into the box and Sancho's rolled it beyond him, and Sancho's rolled it into the vacant net, and Manchester United lead after 22 minutes. Suddenly they sprang forward and Leicester were open, Leicester were wide open, and Manchester United have the opening goal of the game.
Leicester were extremely wide open. Manchester United had a chance to counter-attack moments before, and Leicester thought they thwarted them in that, and in doing so United had a few players committed forward. Leicester were not back in position, and Leicester gave the ball away cheaply again, and Manchester United absolutely exposed them within that moment. Ball forward to Bruno Fernandes. He gets turned very, very quickly, plays the ball into Rashford, who don't believe the amount of space he's in either, and then in turn he takes a touch and passes it on to Sancho. Sancho does brilliantly because as Rashford receives the ball, Sancho's offside, but he comes back, bends his run in that moment from Rashford having a touch, and once he has his first touch he goes around the goalkeeper and comfortably passes it into the back of the goal. It's typical Manchester United on the counter-attack, exposing the opposition, and they're 1-0 ahead.
Brendan Rodgers and his coaching team were looking at a monitor to see if Sancho was affecting the game by being in an offside position. There was no check, the goal is stood, and I think the replay we saw would suggest that's right.
Yeah, well, when Bruno Fernandes, who again, I say, won't have believed the amount of space he was in when he received the pass, he turns and plays the ball forward to Rashford, and in that moment Jadon Sancho is probably 3 or 4 yards offside comfortably. If the ball goes through to him, the linesman will raise his flag, but because it goes to Rashford, he has time to just come back and bend his run.
Here is Rashford through the middle now. Johnny Evans goes to ground and wins the ball back and pushes it wide to Barnes. First time lob ball up to the halfway line. Varane is there in front of Jamie Vardy, and Manchester United now are attacking down the right hand side with Dalot having a look. Far side is Sancho, pulls the ball into the middle of the goal, it deflects up and indeed he can head it away, and then it's a misplaced drive into the penalty area by Elanga. But Manchester United look dangerous when they come forward. The difference between Manchester United and that Brentford performance is clear for everyone to see. It's a different team.
Yeah, it's night and day. They're attacking with a lot more purpose, they're defending a lot more vigorously, and that's the main thing. They're defending well, working hard to be able to set up these attacks, and Dalot drove into the penalty area there. He was looking for someone to get across the front man. Both Sancho and Rashford bulled to the back post, didn't really give him an option, but United are starting to look dangerous down this right hand side.
I think I heard there, even though they're winning here by a goal to nil, Manchester United's familiar refrain from the fans wanting the Glazers out. They're not happy with the ownership of the club still, and I don't think they ever will be. And here's Johnny Evans, who knows that club so very, very well. Having won the league twice, the Champions League and the League Cup and World Club Championship as a squad member. And here's Danny Ward, not too sure if he got medals for all those. He was in the squad. Not like in some continental countries where you only got to play one game, come off the bench for a minute in the title winning side, you get a medal. Now here's James Maddison for Leicester City, rolls the ball to the far side. Can they get a good cross into that penalty area? McTominay is back and gets it away for Manchester United. Elanga 10 yards outside his own penalty area, leading 1-0, protected the ball well. Ericsson back then towards Martinez, and Manchester United, under good pressing from Leicester, played it out very, very well indeed. Bruno Fernandes touches it in. Manchester United on the counter. Malacia goes forward down that left-hand side, looking for a turn from Sancho. But he comes infield 2 or 3 yards to Bruno Fernandes. Dalot joining in. There's a cohesion against Manchester United. They look really effective. They look really on point as a team here tonight. McTominay, Ericsson, they lead 1-0, 26 minutes gone. Ericsson's going to shoot from there. Always going to shoot from there. 5 yards of space. The shot lacked power to beat Ward Hussein.
Yeah, just probably scuffed it a touch for the quality we know he has on his left side, but I think he's the key. I mean, we've just seen Leicester really try to press Manchester United on their own penalty area, and Ericsson is probably 5-8 yards away from his centre-halves, and they happily, when they're under pressure, roll the ball into him. They trust him to keep the ball, to keep possession, and the way they just work that ball out from the back, Ericsson touched it 3 or 4 times. Bruno Fernandes coming deep was really impressive.
Barnes, good ball forward, chance here for Leicester. Thomas on the edge of the penalty, left-hand side. His cross is shanked up in the air by Martinez and caught comfortably by David De Gea on clean sheet in his last 13 games for the Manchester United goalkeeper. He gathers quite comfortably and pauses before he clears it away. The second highest number of appearances for a Manchester United goalkeeper. David De Gea approaching 500 now. Alex Stepney, I think it was 539 off the top of my head. The great Alex Stepney. And Leicester City have possession just outside their own penalty area, and they should get it away from there comfortably. Sumare, signing last summer from Lille, they spent £55 million last summer. And there'll be a yellow card here for Dalot, pulling back on Harvey Barnes, first caution of the night.
Yeah, and he knew it as well. He just got far too tight to Harvey Barnes, who also felt it himself, knew he could roll the Manchester United fullback, got round the outside of him, and Dalot knew, I can't let him run at my 2 centre-backs from that position, and just hold him back.
28 minutes gone. Leicester 0, Manchester United 1. Sancho the goal scorer for Manchester United. Here's Danny Ward, who had no chance with the goal on his longest running at one of league games. This is his 5th since 2016-17, when he was on loan at Huddersfield. Had many a loan period, of course. Out by Martinez. Ericsson, sublime ball forward for Rashford. Couldn't hold it up though, and Leicester nearly worked it up to Vardy, who's gone back to chase and pick it up. Christian Eriksen, aged 30. Just a couple of years, well, a year, isn't it? A year and a bit since we all feared the worst, that terrible night in the Euros. Great to see him playing football anywhere. Bruno Fernandes splits the Leicester defence, and the ball spun with the outside of his right foot nearly through to Rashford. He's an animated figure here, Bruno Fernandes, for all the right reasons. Leicester City not winning the 50-50s at the moment. That's better from them though. And here's Johnny Evans at 1-0 United with 29 minutes gone. Wilfred Ndidi, and in the club now for what, some 5 years. On the cup with them. Had that horrible knee injury last season. And Maddison tries to spin a ball to the left-hand side, but it drops short of the mark, and Manchester United pick it up again. What did Leicester have to do here, Leon, to get a toehold in the game?
Well, they have to keep the ball better. I think we've seen that clearly, that they've managed 3 or 4 passes at times before Manchester United have won the ball back. But watching the game, I'm still not quite sure what Leicester's plan is to break Manchester United down. They've not tried to stretch them wide, they've not tried to go long, they've not really tried to come through the middle. It's been quite a mismatch, whereas what Manchester United are doing is quite clear. Get the ball into Bruno Fernandes on the half turn and release Elanga or Rashford, and it's been successful so far.
And Rashford now releases on that far side. Sancho for Manchester United in acres of space. Bruno Fernandes is outside him in the penalty area. Sancho goes beyond Tielemans, but then a defender comes across to cover, so he has to force it back, and Bruno Fernandes picks it up left hand side. The Portuguese international with a little wristband on that left wrist rolls it back again. Comfortable night for football in terms of temperature tonight. It's 1-0 to Manchester United. They've lost possession there with Malacia, dispossessed by Madison. You saw ghosts out here to the left-hand touchline, and played it straight 40 yards away out for a throw-in to Manchester. I'm not too sure what he saw there.
I think he was trying to just cut across the ball and slice it, a bit like a sliced golf shot, and just have it come around into the path of Harvey Barnes, but never really cut across it. But it was good. It was better the fact that they got closer to Manchester United. They were able to put a foot in and actually win the ball back, and there was a potential there for a counter-attack if he'd got the pass right.
Here's Dallon towards Rashford, straight to a Leicester man, and the back pass finds Danny Ward scuttling across. Can you control your slices and hooks when you're playing?
Football, yes. Golf, absolutely not, no.
When I slice, it's a mile out of bounds. You never see that ball again. And here's Danny Ward rolling out to Johnny Evans. 31 minutes play. Evans ambles out of defence with the ball at his feet, and Manchester United let him come. Here's Barnes, all the way through the youth team ranks here for 150 appearances now. And Dewsbury Hall will be hoping to follow him to that mark. He's already made over 50. Last season was his breakthrough season. That's a poor ball in though by Thomas, who was advancing to the Manchester United half, the left back. So United have it central midfield, but deep in their own half. Ericsson swivels and crashes a left foot ball out 50 yards to Sancho.
And that's the difference for Manchester United. I mentioned his name a few times now, but Fred wasn't capable of that, helping to win the ball back, playing 1-2s in really tight areas with teammates. It was Bruno Fernandes there, then releasing a 60-yard pass cross-field to Jadon Sancho. That's the difference. Manchester United need ball-playing midfield. If you think back to the days they were very successful. Roy Keane could break the ball down, but he could also pass it. But Manchester United, you have to be able to do them both.
Fred, playing for Manchester United, he's played in a much deeper role than he is for Brazil, where he's given more licence to be freer, if you like, and more expressive, and he plays a big role for them. It's strange he's never had that chance at Manchester United, or he's up to that chance in Premier League football. We don't know, do we, at the moment? Here's Vardy bustling through the challenge of Malacia. Free kick given against him, which means the ball must have run away, and he got a wee bit late on the Dutch fullback. Free kick to Manchester United, lead by a goal to nil.
I think Manchester United wouldn't have minded play continuing either, because although it was a foul by Jamie Vardy, the ball ricocheted into Manchester United player, flicked around the corner into the feet of Jadon Sancho, but the referee decided to call it back for a free kick. Martinez,
the Manchester United, brings the ball out of defence. This is what he can do. He can play midfield, Martinez, but the pass wasn't great, and Leicester could take advantage as he tries to get back into possession, but it's a poor ball in there by Dewsbury Hall as he tried to find Barnes cutting through the middle, and United have it back again. Leicester at the moment going through this torrid time. They ended last season fairly well, unbeaten with 3 wins in that time. But as the weeks built up to the season, there were no signings coming in. Alex Smithies came in on a free, the Cardiff goalkeeper. 1 or 2 went out, of course. The fans started to get worried. I don't think there's any pressure, by the way, here on Brendan Rodgers from Leicester City Football Club.
No, I don't at all. When you were reading the statements from the chairman earlier, I thought that means that he must be given time. Even if results are poor, then he will be given an awful lot of time, Brendan Rodgers, to get the club into the position the owners want. And if he is spending, then they will see the pressure mount.
Maybe a spend will come in the new year. We'll wait and see. Here's Malacia for Manchester United, almost to the edge of the Leicester box. Back to Bruno Fernandes, who slips an easy pass to Sancho, attacking that far side of the penalty area for us. Malacia on the overlap, good pull back to Rashford, seen though by the watchful Johnny Evans, who can bring it out for Leicester. What a poor ball back by Maddison. Evans found Maddison and he put his defence right under pressure with the back pass. United come again. Rashford centre forward position, tickles it off to Malacia. On that occasion though, Justin cuts in for Leicester to clear it away. Manchester United lead 1-0 with up to 35 minutes in the game. Fernandes, Rashford, centre forward position, dips his shoulder, drops to the right, shot blocked by Evans, ricochets away then to Elanga, little chip to the far side of the penalty. You can see what he's trying to do there to find Sancho, away by Justin.
He was unlucky with his effort, Marcus Rashford, but having had the fortune to watch Erling Haaland in the last 2 games, Marcus Rashford could do with trying to take a leaf out of his book. Whenever the ball goes into the wide areas, All he thinks about is getting in the 6-yard box for tap-ins. Rashford's just tonight on the last 2 crosses, he always wants to pull out, he always wants to get in spaces and gets in the way of Bruno Fernandes in midfield rather than being on the shoulder of the defender, always being there for a tap-in. I think that would help his Manchester United teammates.
Eriksen for Manchester United. Don't forget, we're through until 11 tonight with the EuroLeague's fellowship, following us at 10 with all the transfer window latest closing at 11. Friday football social tomorrow night, looking ahead to the Merseyside derby, the Old Firm derby. Chelsea West Ham Saturday afternoon, commentary from the Bridge, and at 5:30 commentary from Villa Park, Aston Villa against Manchester City. Sunday the commentary comes from Brighton Leicester at 2. Manchester United's next game is against Arsenal. We have that live and exclusive for you at 4:30. Here's Rashford into the Leicester penalty, right hand side, pulls it back to Sancho, kills the ball first touch. His second touch saw a shot that deflected off Justin, and that did enough to kill the ball, and it spun up to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, Leicester guilty of giving the ball away again. Dewsbury Hall, and from that moment Rashford was brilliant. Decent first touch, and then he uses his pace to get down the side of Evans, crosses it, but Jadon Sancho controlled it instantly, brilliantly with his left foot, but as you said, good defending by Justin.
Here's Tielemans, rare salty forward from him in this game. Barnes edge of the penalty, a shape to shoot beautifully. That's the best we've seen from Leicester. It was bending, it was curling, it was dipping, crashing too late, goal kick.
Well, if it had been on target, it would have been a goal. David De Gea rooted to his spot, took the shot so early, unexpectedly. Harvey Barnes, and you're right, they moved it probably the quickest we've seen them in the final third up to this point of the game. Leicester City, that's what they need to do a little bit more, move the ball quickly. Just unfortunate with the finish being a yard too high.
What a week we have for you. Champions League on 5 Live Tuesday, Celtic against Real Madrid commentary Wednesday, all the action from Ajax against Rangers, followed by Napoli against Liverpool. Don't forget, stay tuned to 5 Live for a big week of domestic news away from the football with the Conservative leadership election on Monday. 1-0 to Manchester United, 37 minutes gone, and it'll be, is it a throw down below us? 3 yards inside, or a free kick? It's
free kick to Manchester United. They've had a good tussle, Johnny Evans and Marcus Rashford. Quite often the referees allow play to continue, and rightly so. On that occasion I think he got the decision right as well. Evans far too tight.
Eriksen played out by De Gea with more certainty than he tried that exact same move at the Brentford Community Stadium earlier on this season when they got caught. One of the worst 45 minutes I've ever seen from a Manchester United team that day, but this is a completely different ball game, and this will be refreshing for Manchester United fans, and worrying for Leicester fans. They're still in the game at 1-0 down.
Worrying, yes. I mean, I wouldn't say this first half performance has been worrying as such, but you know, to have had a man extra against Chelsea for so long and not really, you know, people said maybe they're unlucky. I didn't think so. I didn't think they exposed Chelsea enough. You know, they've also lost to Southampton, lost to Arsenal. I do think they need a spark. I think there are mitigating circumstances, quite obviously, but they do need to get themselves up and running sooner rather than later.
De Gea all in yellow with the orange goalkeeping gloves. Played out to McTominay. Passed betwixt and between Malacia and Sancho, but there's no pressure on them at all by Leicester, so they're comfy to win the ball back. And look at Eriksen, there's not a Leicester player within 10 yards of him, couldn't find a pass, no movement up front. He has it back again, he's still looking for that pass, left foot inside the football up towards he was looking, I think, for McTominay, was it, but Leicester have it back again, and they have a free kick on the edge of the Manchester United half. Eriksen's just rolled the ball away, kicked away nonchalantly, and the referee has a word with him to remind him that's an offence, a bookable offence.
That was better from Leicester City. Yes, they slowed the Manchester United attack down. They made Eriksen stand on the ball, keep looking, and they worked really hard to stop the forward pass, and because of that they gave themselves an opportunity to win the ball back.
Producer George has given me a little bit of paper saying that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is in London to complete his Chelsea medical. The cross goes Varane to clear for Manchester United. Well-timed intervention, the ball nearly broke to Barnes, and Varane then steers it away to Bruno Fernandes. All this right-hand touchline deep inside the United half. That's a strong challenge to win it back for Leicester. Came strongly in there to tackle Elanga, and it's going to be a throw to Manchester United down below us. The challenge was by Bakary Soumaré, whom I saw a lot in Lille colours. He was there for 4 years. strong and decent midfield player at Ligue 1 level.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of him so far in a Leicester City shirt. Doing okay defensively, trying to stop Bruno Fernandes, but Leicester need him to get on the ball. Leicester need him to start attacks and try and get Tielemans on the ball quicker and try and get Dewsbury Hall on the ball much quicker.
Manchester United have possession. Been the key of the half, really, key of the half. Manchester United have possession, and at times it's been far too easy for them in possession. Leicester struggling for rhyme and reason at the moment. But there's an offside flag raised against Sancho. He came from an offside position to challenge some 6 yards inside that Leicester half on the far side. They've taken the free kick very quickly at 1-0 down, and they push the ball out to the right-hand touchline again, and in comes Malacia. Buffeting sort of challenge there on James Justin, who's playing at right back tonight, who was out from February 21 to January 22 with a cruciate knee ligament injury. Brendan Rodgers has had so many problems here with injuries over the last 2 years. Players leaving now, others wanting away, and hasn't been a settled ship that he could, for whom he could charter a safe course through the choppy waters of Premier League football.
It's certainly not gone according to plan, I would say, for him when he joined the football club. Yes, he won the FA Cup, but he wanted to develop the squad. He missed out on Champions League football very slightly twice. Probably was hoping to improve the squad and keep moving forward, but at the moment he's found himself having to take a few backward steps before maybe he can go forward again.
Barnes cuts in from the left-hand side for Leicester on the edge of the penalty area. Dewsbury Hall crosses deep towards the far side. Few groans for the cross because it was deep behind Justin. He's kept the ball in play and he's won a free kick for the challenge by Malacia. He's going to get a yellow card here now. The young Dutchman protesting his innocence. How did you see that one, Will?
Yeah, well, Malacia is not happy. My instinct from it's on the far side of the field was that Malacia got a slight touch on the ball. Yeah, I think he did. He maybe also brings Justin down, but he does get a touch on the ball. I'm not sure that was a foul, to be honest. I think that Justin went to ground far too easy, so not only to concede the set piece, but also to get a yellow card. He'll be very frustrated with.
It's going to be a free kick here for Leicester. Maddison, heavily tattooed, sandy coloured hair, light beard, stands over the ball, wrist patch, sweat patch on his left wrist I should say, standing poised now to hook this free kick into the Manchester United penalty area with a minute and a half left in the first half. A little bit more. Maddison low and flat, nearly came through to Vardy, but Manchester United should clear through Bruno Fernandes. Vardy looking for his first goal of the campaign, and the clearance sails deep inside Leicester territory where they work it back then towards Danny Ward. Next up for Leicester City, visit to Brighton on Sunday. We are there on 5 Live for you, and it's Villa and Spurs I think for them. Across goes Martinez. Read the game very well there and drills the ball down the left-hand channel for Manchester United for Sancho to give chase, who's asking too much of him. Game just settled into a more even pace now in the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, just lost that control. I was about to say Manchester United, they were keeping the ball at ease. Leicester weren't really getting close enough to stop Manchester United doing what they want, but there's Manchester United again.
Rashford change of play away to Sancho, asking a lot because the ball was fizzing and bending. He came at it at almost waist high, tried to bring the ball down, very difficult art that. And Leicester being booed here by their fans because they're not getting the ball forward quick enough, I think the Leicester supporters. But if you look upfield, Vardy is isolated, he's got 2 red shirts around him, and there's no sign of any real support. Now it arrives centre circle, and Maddison spins it away to the left-hand side. Barnes, still Vardy alone on the edge of the penalty. Dewsbury Hall's there. Barnes, good run from him, but off balance. He can only cross behind with their ball line and over the bar for a goal kick. Better.
Yeah, up until the moment Harvey Barnes tried to put his cross in, it was a really good attack from Leicester. Despite the crowd protesting to get the ball forward quicker, they did so at a good pace. They found the moment, moved the ball to the left-hand side, and Harvey Barnes dropped his shoulder brilliantly against Diego Dalot on the yellow card, couldn't really touch him, and then at that crucial moment with players inside the penalty area just completely mishit his cross.
We're into a minute of stoppage time. Next up for Manchester United, Arsenal at home. We have that for you Sunday. And of course it'll be regular Thursday football for them. They go and play Real Sociedad on next Thursday in the Europa League. Crystal Palace away on the Sunday, and then they have Sheriff Tiraspol. And further along in the Europa League, Omonia Nicosia. It is a group from which they should qualify and take European football through to the new year in this bizarre and baffling season where the World Cup will have such an effect. Here's Barnes, 3 yards in from this near touchline. Barnes crosses into the middle, headed away in there easily by Varane. The half-time whistle blows, and Leon, your thoughts of Manchester United's lead 1-0?
Yeah, I think they probably deserve to be leading at 1-0. I thought for half an hour they controlled the game, they played at their own tempo, and Leicester kind of struggling to keep up in that moment. But whether it's Leicester stepping the game up or Manchester United getting sloppy or a little bit of both, it's become a lot more even in the last 15 minutes, and Leicester have started to get a bit of joy on this left-hand side. Harvey Barnes has got the beating of Diego Dallo, who's on a yellow card, so I'm sure that'll be the message for Leicester once the second half begins. But I think it's probably a fair scoreline at half-time.
I didn't have any. I didn't know they were the fizzy type of modern sweet. I don't like them, but Leon had 8 at half-time. He's still chomping away.
I'm struggling here.
No, so I could tell you no substitutions at half-time. Leicester all in blue, kicking us off and underway from left to right, then trailing by a goal to 0. I'll tell you what will change Leicester's season: one goal in this second half to level it up could change everything. It's as simple as that sometimes, and as difficult to achieve as that, because in the first half they didn't really look like scoring that goal, and they've given the ball away right at the start of the second period. And here's Bruno Fernandes interchanging passes with Rashford, edge of the Leicester penalty. Johnny Evans comes out, lovely challenge, eye on the ball, stole it back, and then it's wasted by Tielemans, who hit long where Vardy had come short, and it's sailed 40 yards beyond the Leicester talismanic striker.
Well, that sums Leicester up at the moment. How often do you think Tielemans plays short and Vardy goes long? They're just not quite on the same page, and they need a spark, Leicester. Everything just seems flat with the way things are going. What a spark a goal would be.
Fernandes is lost out, and it's cleared away by Wilfred Ndidi. But poorly, Sancho tries to interchange passes with a stitching Rashford, ran off Rashford's toe, and here's Dewsbury Hall to run it away for Leicester, diagonally, right to left, already at the halfway line, but his pass goes behind Harvey Barnes and straight out of play, and dare I say it, the youngster hung on to the ball a wee bit too long there, Leon.
Yeah, I mean, he was trying to make something happen for the team. He'd given the ball away, he'd won it back, he was trying to drive up the pitch, but again, not quite on the same page. When the ball was there to be played for him, Maddison wasn't quite in the right position, Barnes wasn't quite in the right position. He's trying to keep hold of it a bit longer. It's just not free-flowing at the minute for Leicester. They need a scrappy one. They need to somehow get over the line, show good character, keep it tight, create a chance, maybe even a set piece, get themselves ignited.
Justin's header misjudged by Tielemans, so dropped to Sancho. It's one back though for Leicester City by Dewsbury Hall, and 4 or 5 Leicester City fans in front of us applauded that, but behind the youngster from Nottingham, the 23-year-old, and it's going to be Leicester in possession now with Tielemans in a right full-back position. He's so often dropped back alongside his centre-halves to pick the ball up and try and get Leicester City moving forward, but for so long in the game Vardy has cut such an isolated figure. He's there now, the ball just lobbed up to him, he couldn't win it first time, ducked into a headed challenge there with McTominay to try and win it back. Surely, Leon, they've got to get more numbers forward from central midfield in support of Vardy. Look at this, there's no one within 25 yards of him now. Yeah,
that's what it is. Soumare is playing deep, Dewsbury Hall and Tielemans are either side. As you've just mentioned, Tielemans is dropping into this false full-back position, Maddison's wide, Barnes is wide generally, and Jamie Vardy has just got acres of space between him and another Leicester City player.
But they have the ball, Leicester all in blue on 5 Live, leading by a goal to 0 on the BBC. And it's Maddison trying to squirt it through, deflected off Sancho, and United have it back again. Eriksen then to Bruno Fernandes, and here's done on the far side, across the halfway line. He's covered a lot of ground very quickly and cuts a fine ball into Bruno Fernandes, keeps the momentum going with the first time ball off to Rashford, gets it back, and then curls a fine pass away towards Malacia. Good build up here by United, touched back by Rashford. Fernandes then wanted to do too much on the ball, and Leicester will clear, and Vardy touches it off to Dewsbury Hall. He's got beyond the slithering challenge of Fernandes. A momentary he's isolated with Varane, and then he's pushed over by Alessandro Martinez, who'll get a yellow card for this, and he didn't really need to make the challenge because Varane had everything under control.
Yeah, that's what I felt as well. It was rash from Martinez. He was trying to get back and help his defender, but Varane just looked so comfortable in his defending, and I felt Dewsbury Hall was the one, even though he had the ball, that was looking round for support, hoping somebody would get up alongside him. So silly decision that from Martinez to give that free kick away. However, that was good from Dewsbury Hall, winning the tackles, pushing off Bruno Fernandes in the middle of the pitch and trying to get his team forward.
Trying to win a ball that wasn't there to be won, because young Dewsbury Hall was protecting the ball very well. He had his body between ball and United player, and Leicester City now have a free kick, which is 6, 8, 12, 18, 24, nigh on 30 yards out, catching the alternate light and dark strips of turf, counting them out I should say. There's a free kick here now for Leicester City. Dewsbury Hall stands hands on hips, white stripe down the blue shorts, clearly evident from the way he's angled against us, but he's to the right of the ball, and it's going to be Maddison, you would have thought, from there, who will take this right foot. Maddison, can he bring Leicester back into the game, swing their season around? 5 minutes into the second half, it's beat the wall, but it hasn't beaten the outstretched hand of David De Gea. Fine save to deny Leicester an equaliser.
Yeah, really good free kick. As you mentioned, the quality that James Maddison has, he did put it right in the top corner, but David De Gea equal to it, moved his feet very well is what he did to make the save more comfortable, and it would have been for most keepers, but really good save.
Spring in the Leicester step at the moment. Brendan Rodgers, don't know what he said to them at half time, but he's got them going. Here's Maddison at 1-0 Manchester United, away towards the right hand side, ball back pushed on there, Justin, and it comes back then towards Tielemans. He's still only halfway inside the United half.
Oh, but listen to the crowd reaction. You felt the stadium was flat, Leicester are flat. One good effort, one good free kick, and suddenly the crowd are on their feet. The crowd are desperate to get involved. They need to use this, Leicester, get the ball forward, use their energy, put United on the back foot.
Leicester have possession, central midfield, Soumare to the left hand side. Momentum has slowed somewhat. Now it's Maddison facing back towards his own half, plays it to Wilfred Ndidi, and the Nigerian international finds the right side, and Leicester suddenly are beginning now to go up through the gears and find a passing momentum, and there Justin tumbles in the penalty area under pressure from Malacia. The referee a cursory glance, that's all, but Leicester here now a front foot, 1-0 down, but enjoying a spell of possession they haven't had so far in the game on 5 Live on the BBC. On such a busy night, through until 11 o'clock when Colin Murray takes you through the night, after the Euroleague follows us at 10 with all the latest from the transfer deadline situation. And here's Dewsbury Hall down by the right touchline and the dead ball line, brings the ball back from the dead ball line. Eriksen's there with him, but he manages to get a cross in. Good cross, slightly fizzy and slightly too high, and Barnes couldn't climb enough, heads it out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, again, really good from Leicester, getting the ball into attacking and dangerous positions and getting people close enough to the ball to affect the game. Dewsbury Hall on that occasion getting into the wide areas, he had support. An attack came from them, winning the ball back on 2 occasions, not letting Manchester United out, sustain an attack. So unfortunate that the cross from Dewsbury Hall was just a touch too high for Barnes, but good attack from Leicester City.
Just watching a replay of David De Gea's save, right hand up and over to make that save. Big man at 6'2", stretched up to the corner of the net and pushed it away. It was a good attempt by Maddison with that free kick, but Manchester United lead Brendan Rodgers side by a goal to nil. Just seen a shot of him purse-lipped down there on the touchline, arms across his chest. But he certainly has an improved Leicester City display here tonight in this second half as Manchester United clear away to the far side. You were here on opening day, weren't you, when they didn't play badly but didn't get the victory?
I was. For an hour in that game they completely dominated the pitch, the ball, the performance. I wondered how many it could be at one point. I'm sure Brendan Rodgers did as well that day, but the fact that they wobbled so much, the fact they conceded 2 goals which really threw them off their step, but this is more like it from Leicester City.
Justin for Leicester, halfway inside the Manchester United half, cuts across the ball to give it loft inside the penalty area, and Barnes was coming in off that far side for Leicester City, coming in off the line. They should have a free kick here. That's a lazy sort of a challenge, really, from Manchester United's point of view, and they've given away a free kick here in what could be a dangerous area halfway inside their own half right-hand side. Sloppy challenge, I think.
Yeah, it's more of a token challenge, one for effect rather than actually trying to win the ball back, and in doing so it's given a free kick away in a pretty dangerous position when we've just spoken about the quality of Maddison. Dewsbury Hall stood over it well. Leicester City now need to get across the line of this ball.
And a good challenge by young Elanga, the Swedish international. And it's going to be a free kick here that Leicester will conjure with Maddison. And once again, Dewsbury Hall is across there. Maddison takes it, they'll give it whip in towards the near post area, invites a run and a glance. If it goes the other way, it'll curl away from Dewsbury Hall. That's the way it goes, and it's booted out by Bruno Fernandes. The only word I can think of there. He booted it out. Have some. And away it goes for a corner kick.
Yeah, nobody really trying to get across the front man there. Bruno Fernandes, it came in low. Comfortable opportunity to clear it for Bauer. You're right, he nearly cleared the top of the stand, but corner.
Atmospheric ground when things are going Leicester's way, and they are at the moment. Short corner, Maddison back to the far side. Here's the setup for Dewsbury Hall. Takes a touch, maybe a touch too much. The shot was blocked by Malacia. Leicester come again though. There's a challenge by Rashford that's ill-timed, and it's going to be a free kick for Leicester. The referee has they've gone down the right-hand touchline playing on, but the referee's pulled them back. It was a rather clumsy challenge, and it's a free kick for that tackle. And a free kick for Leicester in a dangerous area.
Sorry for John, unfortunate to not receive a yellow card as well when you go to ground and you take someone off their feet in that manner, as he did to Thomas on that occasion. They're just making a couple of mistakes defensively, Manchester United, giving away cheap free kicks, not giving themselves an opportunity to get out, and Leicester are really trying to take advantage by keeping them on the edge of their own penalty area.
10 minutes gone in the second half. 5 live from the BBC. Manchester United 1-0 up at the King Power Stadium, but where was this Leicester for 45 minutes? Much stronger. In comes a free kick from Maddison, glanced away on the edge of the penalty area and then thumped downfield 60, 70 yards by Marcus Rashford. Danny Ward outside his penalty area will bring the ball under control and clear it away. Manchester United are readying substitutes at this moment in time. Ward then for Leicester, away towards the far side. Casemiro is going to come on. Leicester have given it away. Ericsson, good block, far side from us. Leicester left back Luke Thomas in his first league appearance of the season got the block in. The former youth team player here come through the ranks. There's a player at the other end of his career, the 30-year-old Carlos Casemiro, one of Europe's best in his position over the last decade. The Brazilian international will come on for his second Manchester United appearance, wearing 18, a man who's done it, won it, bought the t-shirt. United attacking far side from us. McTominay brings it down, clever little juggle with the ball. It's rolled away and out of play for a United throw off the Leicester defender. It will be McTominay who departs for Casemiro, and alongside Ericsson at the defensive end of Manchester United's midfield. United have a throw, trailing by a goal to nil. Wonderful player, Casemiro. It's necessary for Manchester United at this stage. Where would he fit in? You fit your best players in wherever you can and make your team around them, don't you?
Yeah, and he's been brought in to play football, there's no doubt about that. The fact that United have won the last two, McTominay playing in the midfield.
Here come Leicester. Maddison looks for Vardy attacking the penalty, tried to drift beyond Varane, nearly came through to Maddison with a little back heel, and Martinez was well positioned to get it away from Manchester United. Fernandes has got an overload on the left hand side. Ericsson arrives, Rashford is straight offside, goes back again. Ericsson though has to check. 10 yards to his right hand side is Bruno Fernandes, having a look, taking it in his stride into Rashford, centre forward position, edge of the box. Tielemans was there. Manchester United looked dangerous then on 5 live. 12 minutes into the second half, they lead 1-0.
When those two players link up, Ericsson and Bruno Fernandes, they look very good, Manchester United. They're such intelligent footballers and they work it, despite not getting it perfectly first time, they worked it through to Rashford. Yes, it was a stern pass, yes, it was strong, but Rashford should still take that in his path with his first touch on the edge of the Leicester City penalty area. He just allowed his touch to skip away from him and let a Leicester City defender get back and defend it.
Well, Anthony Elanga is the man who goes off for the arrival of Casemiro, a man who has 5 Champions League winners' medals to his name, 3 World Club Championships, 3 league titles in Spain with Real Madrid. Wonderful player, Casemiro. £65 million, wonderful transfer for him, wonderful transfer for Real Madrid. Manchester United fans will hope it's a wonderful transfer for them as well. On he comes. Eriksen loses possession, it's just nicked away there by Malacia, but not well, and it's invited Leicester to come forward again with Samara. Couldn't get it to Vardy and he couldn't bring it under control because Varane stole in for Manchester United. He's had a super game, Leonis Varane at the back of United.
He has, he's read the game really well, and when you're up against the likes of Jamie Vardy and on his side of the field as well, Harvey Barnes coming in off the left, you know you're up against real pace. You have to read the game well, but you also have to step in at the right moments, and he's done that terrific so far.
Casemiro has come into the holding midfield position alongside Eriksen or McTominay, because at times you'll see Eriksen wander forward, I think, into the 10, and Bruno Fernandes has gone to the right hand side. McTominay is in the more central role at the moment as it's one back for United by Dalot. They lead 1-0, and here is Varane inside his own half, cuts it forward then to Casemiro, round the corner. Eriksen looks to set Rashford through the middle with his blistering pace, but it's overshot and through to Danny Ward in that Leicester goal. But they've squandered possession again, Leicester City. That bright start to the second half forgotten now. Approaching the hour, it's Manchester United in control again and leading 1-0.
Yeah, that's it. I wouldn't say that Manchester United have wrestled this game back to make it more competitive. Leicester have just been guilty of being sloppy, giving the ball away at the wrong moments to not allow them to keep up the sustained pressure.
Brendan Rodgers loves a team that can pass well, and they haven't passed well tonight, and they haven't passed well in recent games, have they? Must be frustrating for it. Let me repeat, the club chairman has said today in the match programme that explain the club's tight financial position and the reasoning for it, so that they can fulfil the obligations, the legal obligations and restrictions of Premier League football spending. Financial fair play, and they've had to trade to go on with things. Well, they've traded now, of course, with Fofana off to Chelsea for the 70 million. And they haven't got enough money to spend all of that. Hope Faust, £50 million signing is down below us, but not featuring part of the squad today. Here's Vardy for Leicester, Maddison for Leicester on the far side from us. Plays it 10 yards infield towards Tielemans, who tumbles but manages to get it back to Evans. Now right side, it's given away here by Justin. Lost possession for Manchester United's left-hand side player, and it's a good crossfield ball looking for Rashford. It was a good challenge by Casemiro in the first place. United have possession, far side from us. Bruno Fernandes, 61 minutes play, waits for support to arrive. Untidy pass back to the supporting run of Dalot. But United have possession.
It was unfortunate, that brilliant interception from Casemiro, and then he only had one pass of 60 yards. It had to be over the head of Johnny Evans, and he hit it right on the money. Unfortunately for United, Bruno Fernandes crossed pass next into the pass of Rashford was blocked by Johnny Evans, but nearly a great opportunity for Manchester United.
As a midfielder yourself, you'd love to have played with a Casemiro, wouldn't you? A player of his quality, his passing quality.
Yeah, but I'd like to have been younger. I couldn't run, and he's coming to that point of his career as well. It's great to play with football, as you see the way they're passing to each other, the way they trust. Eriksen, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, they'll all take the ball in tight areas. They're all able to pick their head up, look forward. It'll be a dream for Rashford.
And here's James Justin. Leicester attacking, looking for Dewsbury Hall. Strong challenge on him there by Casemiro, who's back on the edge of his 18-yard box, trundles forward, and Leicester have a throw. You've been a little hard on yourself there, Leon, in terms of your running power. I remember doing a game with you where you did get up and back in that one same week. And Leicester have possession now on the edge of the Manchester United penalty. A little touch off, and United will clear it away and ease it away through Malacia. Long ball searching for Rashford. Johnny Evans times his header back to Danny Ward.
Good experience that from Johnny Evans, the way he stepped across there, because Rashford did what I want to see a lot more of him, dropping into spaces. As soon as the defender comes with him, spin, turn, run down the channel. Defenders won't want to go in with you if you keep making them run backwards that quickly.
Lovely quarterback pass by Evans all the way out to this right hand side, Justin to attack the Manchester United penalty. One of the features of the second half, Justin's got a lot higher on the Leicester right hand side, tries to force it through to Dewsbury Hall though. United cleared away. Ericsson swept the first time ball around the corner looking for Rashford, gobbled up by Ndidi. Plenty of blue shirts now up in support of Vardy. Barnes is only a yard away from him in the D, but Leicester have to pull it back. No way forward for them, they feel. All the way back to Danny Ward. Listen to the groans. One or two Leicester fans growing frustrated. The expectancy levels here set so high by the title-winning year of 2016, the FA Cup, the Community Shield, the forays into Europe. And I think patience required at this stage of the season, hard as it might seem. Now Barnes, left-hand touchline for Leicester City. Maddison. Little nudge ball down the line by Thomas on 5 Live from the BBC, with Manchester United 1-0 up and 64 minutes gone at the King Power Stadium.
I've been in these situations before when you've been on the cusp of European football for a few seasons. You think if we could just strengthen, if we could just help our team out over the summer, and then signings don't come in.
Oh, Maddison has done well to win it back for Leicester, dropped his shoulder, has invited a challenge. Is it a free kick? The referee might come back here and give the free kick, but no, he says go on, and Maddison now has won a free kick against McTominay. He did him twice there, Maddison, turned away from the Manchester United player. I thought he was fouled first time, certainly was second time, and it's a free kick here just outside the D, and they're getting stronger, and it's more worrying for Manchester United fans.
Yeah, he does well there, Maddison, but he was always looking to win a set piece there, in my opinion. McTominay, yes, did have his arms on him. Maddison had his arms on him back as well. Again, as soon as someone shrugs him, he is looking for that set piece. In my opinion, he goes to ground quite easily, but second one maybe just enough, maybe not. I wouldn't have been surprised if the referee had let that one go, but it's in a very dangerous position now, this set piece. He's already gone close from this distance in the game. Took a good save from David De Gea, and I really fancy himself here.
I wonder if he's given that second free kick because he now realises the first challenge was by Varane might have been a free kick.
Yeah, that was more of the free kick, I thought. Yes, McTominay did have his hands on him, but he didn't drag him, he didn't pull him, he was just using his strength, so maybe that was the referee's mind.
Too great a protest about it from Manchester United's point of view. They have all 11 back inside their own penalty area now. We've been playing 20 minutes in the second half. How many in that wall? 2, 4. Bruno Fernandes. No, he's moved away from the wall to its right-hand side as we look at it. And the doorstop in there, can't see who that is. But it's a free kick for Leicester City, just outside the D. Maddison again to the left of it, Dewsbury Hall again to the right of it.
Straight to Sancho on that doorstop. I would hate it to have been in that position.
You can't see the ball coming, can you? If it hits you on the back of the head, you know all about it.
Someone loses their balance and stamps all over you as well.
Imagine Big Duncan losing his balance, stamping all over you.
Big Duncan was never in the wall.
Free kick here for Leicester City. Maddison right-footed around, hit the wall, and bounces away out towards the right-back position, crossed in by Justin, and De Gea unopposed, 6-yard area, just a hop really, not even a jump, gathers and looks to clear it away as Cristiano Ronaldo, stripped and ready to come on, bounces on his toes down in the United technical area.
Looks menacing actually, doesn't he, as he's going about his movements. He looks like he's really planning to come on and affect this game.
Dalot for Manchester United, far side from us, and the right hand side down the line. Well, I think he settled because he thought the ball had gone out of place, stopped working for it. He thought it was a United throw. It's not, it's a Leicester throw. And here comes the Manchester United change. Ronaldo coming on for the goal scorer, Jadon Sancho. Boos for one of the world's greatest players in the game's history from the Leicester supporters. Almost inevitable, I guess. The man the opposition supporters love to debate, but he normally comes up with something to reply to the Boo Boys.
Decent Right, 67 minutes work from Jadon Sancho, as we said in the first half. Huddersfield, he's improving, he's started to affect the game a lot more. He's drifted in and out in the second half, so I'm actually not surprised to see that change. Marcus Rashford has looked dangerous tonight, and his pace coming off this left-hand side as Justin is trying to advance to get Leicester back into the game could be a big factor.
Rashford has come to the left, Ronaldo through the middle predictably. Rashford has it back again. Is he a Manchester United player simply because no other team in Europe could afford the package to take him away? Or does he have a genuine future here under Erik ten Hag? He's chasing down there on Johnny Evans, but not really, and Leicester can play it away. 1-0 down. We're into the last quarter of the game. On a huge week of football on 5 Live as United drill a crossfield ball by Bruno Fernandes. A lot more, I think, front foot and positive than he was earlier in the season, looking for a forward pass. Bruno Fernandes. I wouldn't say he's back to his best from when he first joined United, but he's certainly more impressive than he was 3 or 4 weeks ago.
He's having a bigger influence on the game, and I feel that he's getting the ball a lot earlier. And speaking of one of the reasons I think I like to see Christian Eriksen in the middle of the pitch, because he can get the more effective players the ball quicker. Quite often, Bruno Fernandes was getting it once the opposition's defence is set, and that's so much more difficult to find a through pass in their moments than it is as they're trying to recover their positions.
Fortunately, an Osman on 5 Live. It's a free kick for Leicester City, trailing 1-0. Manchester United have maintained this great scoring run they've had over Leicester, unbeaten against them in 5 matches, and won't get back into the game with passes like that from Tielemans. Again, he's dropped deep into this false fullback position, as you were calling it, and he hasn't had a very good game really. The ball swung out of play.
No, I understand coming into what we now call the false fullback position. You allow Justin to go up on the outside, it allows Maddison to come in the middle, and it's good rotation, and it's difficult to stop at source. But Tielemans has been so deep, and all of his passes have been really long, and you've certainly, as you mentioned, they haven't been on the money.
United up towards Ronaldo, backing on into Ndidi, who turns strong and pacey, but Ronaldo was strong against him, too strong for the referee. Pushed into Ndidi, and it's a free kick. And Ronaldo turns, and a wry smile on his face, puts his thumb onto his chest, and if to say, "Me, ref?" And the referee says, "Well, you were the only one there in a red shirt."
Yeah, I think it was just about a foul, but again, indeed, he just gets his body in the way and then puts the brakes on. Ronaldo, in trying to compete for the ball, just bustles into him.
Dewsbury Hall has got goal side of Casemiro and finds Barnes, left-hand corner of the penalty area as Leicester will see it. Barnes to the dead ball line. He took a good sliding challenge by Dalot. As he slid in, he ricocheted the ball off the Leicester player. Referee, good decision, right up with the play, taken very quickly, decisively, goal kick.
Yeah, it's been a good tussle between those two. Harvey Barnes probably came out on top in the first half, but Dalot's more than given him a match in the second, and for the moment you thought Barnes had just dropped his shoulder, got to the touchline, was about to flash it across the 6-yard box for Jamie Vardy, and Dalot at full stretch managed to not only defend it but then ricochet back off Harvey Barnes and his teammates to a man. I mean, Varane, Martinez, Casemiro, McTominay all ran up to him to say well done, that's the standards we expect.
Yeah, bouncing off each other there, fist pumps as well, really significant, that body language for Manchester United tonight as Ndidi runs it out of play for Leicester City. I think Brendan Rodgers will be encouraged by this second half display. They're still trailing 1-0. Ndidi touches it back to Johnny Evans inside his own penalty. It was a touch, no more than that, and Justin clears straight to a red shirt. We get a second chance to clear it away, and he sliced it back into his own penalty area. Danny Ward kicks clear. Might have felt he couldn't pick it up. It would have been a harsh decision though to do a free kick for a back pass like that. Sumare for Leicester City loses possession. Sumare, I should say, really good player. There was a Sumaro there as well in the same side for a while. I thought he was a good player. And lots more players are coming from Ligue 1 into the Premier League this season. It's cleared away by Martinez. Better league than people give it credit now. More competition and good value for some of the players who are coming into the Premier League. Eriksen, how about that for a swept ball away? Instep of his left foot curling towards Bruno Fernandes on the far side from us. Headed away only as far as Dalot. Give and go with Fernandes. Dalot very nearly got him behind Johnny Evans. Masterful reading of the game there to block.
Yeah, he's had a good game this evening, Johnny Evans. He's had to read the game well. He's been the one Leicester player that's really stood up to this Manchester United attack. Really good bits of pockets of play from Manchester United. The way they're trying to thread through passes, the way they're touching, the way they're running forward, and then Eriksen with that 60-70 yard pass to Bruno Fernandes. It didn't work out, but they win the second ball. Dalot quickly behind it. They're much improved since we've seen them at the start of the season.
Through until 11 tonight. With the EuroLeague's taking you through the very latest on the transfer window until it closes an hour from midnight, and Colin Murray will take up the discussion and also all his other subjects. A brilliant programme Colin does in the week. I love it, travelling home from games, listen all the time. Leicester will career through the middle here now. It's Ndidi. Options for him. Dewsbury Hall is to his right hand side. The pace of the move is slowed, and Dewsbury Hall's pass was overcooked, curling away from Barnes. I can hear a few boos. Leicester are getting ready, a substitution down below us, and they need to effect a change in the game. 16 to go, Leon.
Yeah, they just need someone to drive forward and make something. When Dewsbury Hall ran at the Manchester United defence 20 minutes ago, and the crowd were off his feet, something nearly happened. At the moment, as soon as the Manchester United body gets in the way, as Casemiro did there, they're happy to turn back and look for a sideways pass, and then when you overhit a sideways pass out the pitch, that's when the crowd will complain at you.
Iheanacho is going to come on for Leicester City, striking option. Chances limited this season. And the Manchester City striker, can he get Leicester out of the soup here against Manchester United? He's made three, I think it is, substitutes appearances this season, cameo roles. Hasn't had a start. Manchester United prompt down their left with Rashford. Tielemans, good block, followed up with a good challenge on Ronaldo. Now forces it wide to Justin, takes the return, look for Justin again. He had to stretch the fullback and he's fouled his man. And it's a free kick here for Manchester United, and Leicester, having initially won it back well, didn't make best use of the ball there.
Yeah, sloppiness all round, winning the ball back, giving it away. Rashford had a chance to skip away, Ronaldo had a chance to skip away, and there was an opportunity there for Manchester United, but both teams just guilty of giving the ball away.
Iheanacho comes on for Tielemans. No surprise in that. Looks to me as if all the noise around Tielemans has affected him. He was also going to leave, of course. Many people thought he would. His 150th appearance for the club hasn't gone great tonight, and off he goes.
He looks a frustrated figure at the moment. Tielemans, his performance tonight and the quality shown certainly wasn't what we've come to expect from him. Giving the ball away cheaply, playing in strange and deep areas of the field. So, despite his quality, no surprise to see he'd be the one withdrawn.
Ronaldo finds McTominay for Manchester United. Thought about playing backwards, then turned forward. Rashford, all this at walking pace. 1-0 to Manchester United on 5 Live with 14 minutes to go. Out by Lisandro Martinez to the left-hand side. Malacia plays infield to Casemiro. This is what he does so well, Casemiro. He just taking the pace out of the game, calmed everything down. Wants the game to be played at his pace. And there he is, stroking a pass. Lovely. Stroking the pass forward to young Malacia. He's just outside the Leicester half, the left back. Rolls into Christian Eriksen.
Ronaldo's frustrated there, made 2 really good runs, but Malacia just didn't fancy playing the pass. If that was Eriksen or Fernandes on the ball, I'm sure they would have been able to find the Portuguese.
1-0 up. And will be brave enough to throw caution to the wind and push for a third. I remember Rudit telling me many years ago, that's what Milan were told. You go 1-0 up in a game, you don't sit back on it, the great Milan side, you push for a second, get a second, you push for a third. Here's Rashford in the penalty area, looking for Malacia, a little back heel, and it'll be cleared away. It won't be cleared away too far though, and Ronaldo now for Manchester United crashes into his man, who was Samari. Play on, says the referee. McTominay to the right hand side. Dalot tried to cut a diagonal in towards Eriksen on the edge of the penalty. It's blocked. United still lead 1-0, and Dewsbury Hall has it for Leicester, and he's pushed to the ground by Dalot on that far side. Leicester fans howl. Dalot already on a yellow, of course.
Yeah, again, it's one of those with Dewsbury Hall just steps across Dalot. Couldn't really do an awful lot to stop it, but Leicester again, they nearly got themselves in trouble giving the ball away cheaply inside their own penalty area. You just feel, as you've just mentioned, about Manchester United going for this second goal. If they just step the game up 5%, 10%, the opportunity to score the second goal will come.
The problem here for Leicester City, one of the players is down, having a little bit of treatment. Is it Samare is down? It is. So time to tell you once again, join us at 8 tomorrow, a little bit earlier actually. Gio Van Bronckhorst on the first hour of the Friday Football Social, and Frank Lampard joining after 8 to talk about Merseyside derby. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst talking about the Old Firm derby. That's our first commentary on 5 Live on Saturday at 12:30. Chelsea West Ham follows at 3 o'clock. Aston Villa against Manchester City follows at 5:30. And Leicester's next game against Brighton away. Sunday is live on 5 Live. Manchester United's next game, which is against Arsenal on Sunday, is live on 5 Live. Tuesday, Celtic against Real Madrid in the Champions League. Wednesday, Ajax Rangers, and that's followed by Napoli against Liverpool. And we'll bring you the final score as well in the Conservative leadership election on Monday, if we get a final score in there. There's going to be a free kick for Leicester, 11 minutes to go. Can they prize a precious point, which they would see as a turning point in their season? Bruno Fernandes tucks it out for Manchester United under good pressure on that far side.
Well, the good thing for Leicester is there's only one goal in the game at the moment, that despite them not really forcing enough to score the opening goal, they're still in the game. They can just find a moment, raise the game, one bit of quality, one opportunity taken. What a reaction you'd get in this stadium.
And they get Vardy on the shoulder of the defender and through on goal. Brown has kept him very quiet today. Dewsbury Hall for Leicester. All inside left position, rolls it forward to Vardy between the far touchline and the penalty area. Left hand side for Leicester, tries to get a cross in. It was deflected away to the calm McTominay, who strokes a pass to the right touchline. Fernandes, 12 yards inside the Leicester half. Back it goes to McTominay. Long ball plunging forward on the diagonal towards Rashford, well read by Justin, and Leicester can mop up and clear through the goalkeeper Danny Ward.
They've had a few opportunities like that so far, Manchester United, winning the ball back, keeping possession well initially, and Marcus Rashford's made some particularly good runs, timed them well, but they just haven't quite got the ball right, either slightly mishit or slightly behind him. McTominay, they're just guilty of not hitting the ball hard enough, trying to float it in rather than really ping it in and trust that Rashford's pace will get in there.
Eric Ten Hag there bit his lip and shook his head as Leicester were able to play it out really without a challenge. They've gone nowhere with it. Will there be any more Manchester United transferred innings between now and 11? You'd think not. You'd think not with Leicester as well, but even now Ian Dennis will be beavering away, phoning his contacts, managers, the chief executives and so on, to try and find out the information for you. Leicester have it with Barnes. 5 yards in for the left-hand touchline, trying to roll away from Dan, nudges it back then to Samare. He goes right, just 2 or 3 yards to his right-hand side was Maddison. He's gone quiet in the last 10 minutes or so, and Leicester have got nowhere at all with that movement. Manchester United have it possession back again. Bruno Fernandes nutmegged his man on the far side. Big diagonal ball darted up to Rashford. Bummied the pass, finds the pass. Ronaldo across goal. Brilliant intervention by Evans, who thought there was an offside there. Comes back to Ronaldo. Ronaldo with the big setup, and scuffed and well wide by Rashford, and Manchester United could have sealed the deal there.
When they step the pace up and the tempo of their attacks, they're very impressive at times. Manchester United, brilliant from Bruno Fernandes, wonderful diagonal, brilliantly timed overlap from Cristiano Ronaldo. How often we see him shoot from any angle on the pitch, but he tries to pick out Christian Eriksen across that 6-yard box. But again, the impressive Johnny Evans is the one man who keeps on getting himself in the way of Manchester United scoring a second goal.
And now Bruno Fernandes has been bypassed by a clever Evans ball out towards the left-hand touchline. On it goes for Leicester City, and Iheanacho rolls it forward to the left corner of the box. Barnes into the penalty area. Maddison tried to lever it back to him, comes to the edge of the box. Slam shot by Dewsbury Hall, deflected back to Iheanacho. In it comes, low and fizzing, and it's blocked again by Manchester United. Casemiro was back there, and here comes a big counter-attack. Ronaldo to Rashford, gets it back again. Ronaldo looking towards the far side. Eriksen was arriving, but safety first at 1-0 up. Plays it back to the heart of midfield, and on they come again, Manchester United. Malacia to the right, Bruno Fernandes to the edge of the penalty area. Dalot on the overlap. Leicester is stretched. High cross to the far side. Big attempted overhead by Ronaldo, goes wide. Hung in the air, waited for it to drop, and wide of the far post. He looks unhappy that it went wide, but it was a typical Ronaldo effort.
Yeah, he's unhappy because of the standards he set himself, but it's an unfortunate effort. He's probably 6 yards out, probably 2 yards wider than the actual corner of the 6-yard box when he takes that overhead kick effort and he hits it into the ground, bounces up over water. It doesn't miss by an awful lot, but again, a good counter-attack by Manchester United. You just feel just a little tiny bit more quality or a little tiny bit more precision, and that second goal is theirs.
Didn't look overjoyed to be on the bench. He wouldn't. One of the world's greatest players, a man who's scored 698 goals in his career at club level, and he's in on goal here again. Bruno Fernandes finds him, drags the cross or cross shot all the way through. It's kept in by Rashford, a willing worker on the left hand side. The cross or cross shot was intended at Eriksen. Rashford has forced a throw through sheer endeavour off the right back James Justin, and Manchester United with 6 to go look to have the game tight in their grasp. Rashford, having sprinted across to try and keep it in play, has gone down. We're looking again. I think he's gone for goal there, hasn't he? Ronaldo?
I think he's just been caught in two minds, which is an incredible thing to say. I think Rashford probably gone down, well, you hope at this stage of the game, with the amount of effort he's put in, with a good bit of cramp, but again, such crisp passing in such a tight area. Ronaldo and Bruno Fernandes this time, you know, 2-1-2s, getting the ball back, great overlap from Ronaldo, and I get the feeling he always wanted to shoot, and as he just got to the ball, realised how wide he was and flashed it across the face of the area as at the pace of having a shot.
Here's McTominay, right Ronaldo off at your peril. Good ball out wide, Malacia, cross was blocked by Justin. All those club goals from 117 for Portugal, the highest international scorer, of course. Top scorer at the Euros, winner of the Euro 16. Those days of lifting trophy over. I wouldn't risk saying that. Eriksen, McTominay, leftish for Manchester United, comes back then towards Casemiro, who swung a languid right foot and got it into the Leicester penalty area. Not a bad ball in there, really. No one challenged for it, and now Ward will clear it away.
It was a brilliant ball. I think it surprised everybody. What it didn't surprise was Thomas at the back post, because he had enough time to see it, and Bruno Fernandes quick to put his arm in the air to apologise for not at least being in a position to challenge for that.
A couple of substitutions going to be made. Patson Daka is going to come on for Leicester City, striker, again with limited opportunities this season, and Fred is going to come on for Manchester United. Scuffed forward by Justin. Now here's Iheanacho, to his left is Maddison, halfway inside the Manchester United half. United still leading 1-0. There's a challenge by Varley that calls it out. Caught Malacia. Varley's protesting, but it's going to be a yellow card for the Leicester City striker.
Well, he wins the ball, Jamie Vardy. I don't think anyone would question that, but the force at which he went into that tackle on Malacia made us here wince at the moment he did it. It's not the fact that he touches the ball, he clearly wins possession, but his momentum and the force of the tackle propelled him into the Manchester United left back at such force that no surprise to see him get a yellow card.
And it's not because he's just been carded that he's been substituted. It was planned beforehand. Off he comes. Terrific professionals' response. Shook the hands of the manager. No complaint. On comes Patson Daka for Leicester City with how long to go? Moments to go. 3 minutes and a little bit. And Manchester United were on Fred for Rashford to go into that midfield area. Eriksen's come out wide to the left, but McTominay and Casemiro holding Fred at the moment in the sort of 10 role, but I shouldn't think he'd stay there. Anyway, Ronaldo beaten in the air by Simare. Dewsbury Hall challenged by Fred, who wins it back. Bruno Fernandes tries to find Dalot, who's returned the ball here to the Portuguese international, whips in the cross first time, gathered easily by Danny Ward, but Manchester United on the front foot, leading 1-0 with 2.5 to go.
Yeah, Fred in that role that you mentioned earlier, that doesn't get to play very often for Manchester United. Quite advanced, able to put some real pressure on the holding midfielder for Leicester, and won the ball back already once in his 20-30 seconds being on the field. Nearly won it again, but gave a free kick away.
Leicester have possession. Soumare, challenged by Ronaldo, he's on his knees in the centre circle, pats the Leicester player on the backside as he goes beyond him. Leicester have possession with Maddison approaching the last 2 minutes. Johnny Evans, centre circle, wide towards the far side. Evans has it now for United, looks for Ndidi, all this centre circle, no movement up front. Ndidi, big right footed cross towards the far side. One in the air by Dalot, and Manchester United have possession again. Careful use of the ball by Casemiro. Gets it back from French, then goes long looking for Ronaldo. And slightly overhit. Johnny Evans was there for us. He's had a good game. Johnny Evans at the back.
Yeah, he's been Leicester's best player. He's been reasonably good in possession, but he's read an awful lot of Manchester United's attacks. Got into the perfect position to thwart Manchester United, because on the balance of play, certainly in the last 20 minutes, you wouldn't have been surprised if they'd at least scored their second goal. So the reason they haven't is Johnny Evans.
Leicester's Luke Thomas to Soumare, got a couple of yards in the central midfield area to try and thread a good ball up, but it doesn't come up, and United clear. Ronaldo, buffeted by Thomas's challenge, works it to Bruno Fernandes, opens up an angle to take a return, then quickly infield to the surging run of Casemiro, and wide to the right hand touchline it goes. This is a good United move. Bruno Fernandes into the box. Goodness me, that's a screamer, just over. But it didn't come from a man with a red shirt, it came from a man in a blue shirt. It came from Iheanacho, and it whistled over the Leicester bar for a corner.
Well, he did ever so well to try and get back to help his team, Iheanacho, but in doing so he nearly scored what would have been a wonderful own goal. The standards go it as Bruno Fernandes tried to pick out Fred inside the penalty area. He's running back in and he volleys it. He's trying to just intercept and volleys it only just over the crossbar of Ward's goal, who was concerned for a moment, that's for sure.
It would have been a strike of which to be greatly proud, but at the other end, the United fans still sing "We Want Glazers Out." They're leading 1-0 away from home. It's an anthem, it's a chorus that will be heard many times this season and in seasons to come, and we're into the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Don't forget, countdown to the end of the transfer window follows us. You won't miss anything there. We've got 4 minutes to go here though on 5 Live, and Manchester United easing their way to another victory, but they're looking fairly comfortable, it has to be said. Having beat Southampton away, famously beaten Liverpool at home, having been crumpled, beaten out of sight in the first half by Brentford away. Lows and highs of football in mere weeks. Long throw in looking for Ronaldo, springs up, Maddison heads it away, only as far as Malacia, and Leicester now have to get on with it. But the clearance first of all by Justin is blocked by Ericsson. Working high and up the pitch here, Ericsson now, Iheanacho. Now Maddison, quickly closed by Fred, but he gets the ball away to Barnes, who has 4 yards and 5 yards of space. Screaming forward into the United half, rolls it infield. First time ball off by Patson Daka, comes back to Maddison, shuffles to his left foot, opened his body, went to bend it, and bent it well wide.
Yeah, that's probably as good as it's got for Brendan Rodgers' team. Decent attack, get many men forwards, create half an opportunity, but ultimately they're shooting from 22 yards, and it's on the weak foot of James Maddison, 22 yards out. Manchester United quite comfortable with that, but the thing that was noticeable there is the speed and desire the Manchester United players showed to get back. I mean, they ended up with only Cristiano Ronaldo ahead of the ball as Maddison was taking a shot on the edge of their own penalty area. They flooded back quickly and with numbers to try and make sure that they keep this clean sheet.
Just looking at my notes, try and read my notes to see their best efforts at the first. I can't read mine right, I thought that said Shrewsbury Hall free kick saved, I think that is. Remember that one. I really should improve my handwriting. Here's Ndidi for Leicester City, all the way back here then to Danny Ward. And the misery continues for Leicester City fans, but Leon, have they seen enough here tonight to give them optimism as Madison's caught in possession by Fred, worked on by Ericsson. Ronaldo attacking the penalty here, drops his shoulder, little dummy, tries to push it back to McTominay. The pass stopped short. Simare has it now for Leicester City.
I'm not sure that they have. They seem flat still.
Over Daka, that's a lovely ball off to Justin. Chance for a last gasp equaliser as the ball came to him quickly in the box. He stretched, he leant back. You know what's going to be said next? The ball sailed well over.
Well, that was a chance. Leicester's best chance of the evening. It just comes very simply. Long ball forward, getting men into good positions. Daka just competes with Martinez for the first one. Malacia gets himself in the wrong position. James Justin on the roll round, one touch out of his feet. Maybe he's just digging it out slightly as he's going for goal. He did have players up in support inside the penalty area, tried to take the shot on himself, and that looks like as close as Leicester are going to come.
Does have 10 career goals up from fullback in his playing career. 4 for Leicester, having moved from Luton Town. Now Ward, the Leicester goalkeeper, on 5 live, dying moments, has to get it away. Did Ericsson block that attempted clearance with a hand? Referee might have had a word had he done so. Ward's clearance eased away by Dalot. He's been good for Manchester United on the right hand side of their defence tonight. Leicester fans groaning because they play back to Johnny Evans. Up it comes looking for Daka, won commandingly by Varane. It's had a super night for Manchester United, who've given the ball away through Casemiro. Don't see that. And out by Malacia, pumps it long into the Leicester half, and Manchester United here have another victory. And for Leicester City, it's more misery yet to win it in the Premier League this season. Manchester United on the up with a goal by Jadon Sancho 22 minutes into the first half. Steve McLaren shakes the hand of his manager Erik ten Hag, and Brendan Rodgers, pursed lips, comes onto the pitch to speak to his players who didn't have enough, Leon.
No, they didn't. It was a comfortable win in the end for Manchester United. If anything, they were probably guilty of not scoring the second goal. They'll be really pleased with the night's work, but it's just a little bit flat and everything's hard for Leicester. I've been there, I've been in those positions where, you know, you're not as strong as the season before, you've not been in a position to strengthen. You're looking around the dressing room thinking, come on guys, we're going to have to figure out a way of finding something within ourselves, because it's come down from the owners. This is what Leicester City have got. They need a spark, they need to get themselves off and running, they need somebody to stand up and really drag the rest of the teammates with them, because Leicester City certainly need to do it, and they need to do it quickly.
Just a couple of weeks ago, Steve, Manchester United looked awful at Brentford, but what a change Erik ten Hag has worked with his team in a short time. Really encouraging signs for them tonight. For Leicester, not so. United have won here at the King Power by a goal to nil.